And good Sunday morning to you, and welcome to Poppy's Workshop and the live Sunday feed of what's going on in the workshop and a little bit of work and everything like that. So pretty much the format's going to be the same way. I usually start off with what's going on in the workshop, what's happening, and all those nice things. Hopefully, by the time I get through this part of the talk, we have a couple people who will join in and kind of go from there. But a lot going on this morning, or I should say this week. First of all, I've done a lot of organizing and tweaking in the workshop. So where my Franken router is and my, let me see if I point that way, and where my soft barrel sander is, I wound up moving the table in more and securing them to the table. What I was thinking of doing this week, I was going to get a larger dust handling system. I have the 1 horsepower and I wasn't happy with it attached to all my stuff. Even though I use blast gates, it just wasn't what I liked. So that was made me think about things. So what I did is I disconnected. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, you can see part of it here. This is actually a 4-inch pipe. Get my hand here. Yep, this is a 4-inch pipe, and this now goes to the 1 horsepower dust handling system. And I just got a 1 micron bag for it as well. I noticed that the bag that came with it, I think it was probably like, I don't know, 20 microns or something. It was horrendous. Yeah, that wasn't too good because I'd move it and sawdust would be coming out. So this particular piece here, I can move it between 3 different tools over here. And that'll be my Franken router, my, so my 2 tools, I should say, well, 3 places here on the workbench. So this gives me a good suction when I'm hand sanding, when I'm using the rotary tool. It's all fine dust, so it makes a good current. And I don't have to worry about chunks of things going in and hitting the impellers and stuff like that. So then what I can do is I move it underneath the Franken router because a lot of times the dust from the shavings from the router will fall down, and it just gets all over the place. So this catches it. I still have the top vacuum or the top tube, which will also be used as well. I can turn it on when I can turn my DeWalt vacuum cleaner on by moving another hose up to the top over there. Same thing, then this can be moved over to my barrel sander. And the way that I secure it, you can just barely see it, is over here are some clamps. So I just clamp them in place, and I've got a platform right here. You can just barely see it as well. So that was one of the changes, that my fine dust is going through the 1 horsepower system, and then everything else, my drill press, my scroll saw, my hand vacuum. So I have this here. Here's my hose, so I can vacuum up parts of the shop. I have another outlet, and what I do is I plug that in, and it goes to my new table, or I should say my cart. Yesterday I went to Harbor Freight and I bought a U.S. General service cart. It's about 30 inches high. It has a lower platform, a drawer, and I forgot how wide it is. I know it's 36. maybe it's 30 wide, I forgot, but it's really nice. So what I have on top of it is my small table saw, and it's like a saber saw, so the blade is upside down and goes up and down. Because I'm not cutting a lot of wood. Usually I'll rip some of the 24-inch boards into 12 or 6 inches, and that's really about all I do. I'm not doing any real fine work, so it's a portable saw. So I have that on one side. And then on the other side is I have my small Wen disc sander and belt sander. It's a 1-inch wide by 21 inches around and a 5-inch disc. And then that gets hooked up to another hose that goes into my DeWalt system. So that works really well. And it's on the cart. I can move it around. I can also keep my sandpaper. Excuse me. I keep my sandpaper in it and everything, and I can cart it around. Before I had it on my on a plastic cart. That's all I had. And it's like, no, I wanted something firm. So I was actually here at 5:30 in the morning in the shop assembling this thing while I was doing my laundry for work next week. So I got that put together, nice bright fire engine red. And we'll see how that works. I can tuck it away. It rolls nice and easy. It's stable. And that is that there. Now back to some of the other things in the shop. Some real tiny things that I've done besides cleaning up. These are the most common bits that I use in the shop. And these are the common rotary tools that I use. Oh, I have a whole bunch over there. So I just cut out a hunk of wood, and put the drills in it. So everything is handy dandy. And what I like about that too is when I'm doing dowels, when I'm doing the different plugs and things like that, the different axles, I can use those to size. So it's like, oh, wait a second, do I want it to fit really tight? Oh, it's a 1/4 inch. Oh no, I want that to be able to rotate, so I can just use these also as a sizing guide, not only just for the drills, but I can put the different axles and stuff in there because you know, you start working fast and you forget about things. So that's what happens there. Now back to the Franken router. I just ordered off of Temu, yay, and it's all aircraft aluminum. And I've had really good luck with them, especially when I'm ordering aircraft aluminum stuff. You're getting things directly from the manufacturer, from the factories. Shipping is free. Yeah, it takes 2 weeks. Who cares? But it's the same thing. You're paying triple or quadruple on Amazon. So what I'm getting for the Franken router is right now there's a plastic shroud that is bolted up to the underside of the table, and then you just held on with a thumb screw. It clamps the router motor, you know, so here's where the router shaft would be, and it just clamps it in. The problem is I can't do any fine adjustments unless I reach down and, you know, do this and that. It's a pain in the butt. So what I ordered is a self-raising mechanism. So through a hole in the top, I'll take a wrench or, you know, probably like a hex key or something, and I'll be able to raise and lower just a couple inches, not too much, and that will be a nice thing there as well, making my Franken router a little bit more flexible. So that's what I hope I can do as I go along. Okay, so I think that covers what I've been doing in the workshop in terms of just making things a little bit more efficient. So let's talk about what's on the table and what else is here. As I said, I've been really busy. So yesterday I completed these 2 prototypes, made this a little bit larger than what the new ones are going to be, because this will go to my grandson, of course. So this is just a rolling toy with the heart cut out, which is pretty much what I put on a lot of Poppy's workshop toys. And what's nice about this, let me switch over to my other camera first, or my other screen so I can see live, so I can make sure I'm not showing things. So you can see the little mahogany stripe in the middle. And basically this is just 3 pieces of wood. I don't remember if this was aspen or birch, but it's a soft hardwood. I wanted to put the stripe in the middle. I was thinking of using it for something else, but it was a smaller scrap, so I was able to do that for both of these out of 1 piece of, or 3 pieces of wood glued together. So this is the large version. My grandson actually turns 1 year old. What's today's date? Tomorrow. He officially turns 1 year old tomorrow. So I already gave him the Noah's Ark. You can see that on my website. It's the one with all the different species of wood for all the different animals and such. So the additional versions will be smaller than from there, and this is why I prototype, is I look at it, it's like, yeah, it came with 2 eyes on one side, and I'm thinking, well, you know what I'm going to do further on? I'm just going to do 1 big eye, and instead of having the double eyebrows here, I'm going to do 1 and make a smooth transition. The reason being is now that I'm using the Franken router, let's see, let me get that close to, there you go. I think you can see the profile that I can now do rather than do it by hand. Yeah. Hey, Archie, and hey, Dances with Aardvark. Hey, nice to see you guys. So anyway, now that I can profile it, what I'm thinking of in designs is if I can avoid some of the short, I can just whip this out, and it takes me, oh gosh, 30, 45 seconds aside. So instead of something taking 10, 15, 20 minutes doing it by hand, the Franken router is allowing me to do it very quickly. So this here is another prototype, and not only is it a wheel toy, this is a hedgehog, and it is, let me get it close to my mic here, it is a rattle. There we go. So have I done a frog? No, I have not done a frog yet. Let me, give me a second. Let me see if I've missed any comments. Oops. Come on, mouse, work for me. There we go. All right. Okay. So I am, have you come around a pin router to do easy template routering? It's easy to convert your router table. No, I have not tried that yet. It seems to be working fine the way that I have it right now. But it's a, what do you want to call it? A work in progress. So anyway, this one here, again, is a prototype, and this is actually going to be going to a little girl named Ainsley, who was born last night. She was born to some people, and let me think how I'll put it here. Well, the young man actually came and lived with us when he turned 18 years old, and he lived with us for a few years. He had a bad situation back at home in New York. And the day after he turned 18 years old, he flew out here with $20 in his pocket, and that was that. Got him to get his GED, got him to get his associate's degree, worked him through, then he got some jobs out here, then joined the Disney College program, did that twice, and then became a full-time staff member at Disney, where he met his now wife. And that now he's in another job doing very, very well. The sad part about the whole thing is they tried multiple times to have babies. They had a couple miscarriages, and then I think it was over a year ago or somewhere in there, stillborn at about 7 or 8 months. So they were trying. So now with this baby, they carried the term, and from what I understand, it's one big baby, somewhere close to 8 pounds. And when I looked at the picture last night, I'm like, man, that baby is small. And I have to forget that this young man, now he's, let's see, that was how many years ago? 2006, yeah, almost 10 years ago. He's quite the adult now. Now has his bachelor's degree, so was able to get him through that as well. So I call him my adopt-a-son, but he is one big boy, 6'4", 6'5", and just a big guy. So even this 8-pound baby is wow. So that's going to go there. Now that we know that Ainsley is there, and I did for the baby shower give them one of my small multi-species puzzles. So I've got a couple things. What was the other one that I'm probably going to send? I don't know if I showed it last week or it was on my video. Now that it's all dusty, but now this walnut is finished with the linseed oil. These I'm going to leave unfinished. So a little bit of a rattle. It doesn't spin. Next time around, I'll use some smaller beads or something, or make it a little bit larger. Not sure, but that is that there. Yeah, it is an amazing story. And the funny thing is, we first met him when he was 11 years old, and just again, home life not so good, and we fell in love with this back then kid, and said, look, if you ever need anything, you reach out to us. And I guess my wife had said one time, hey, if you ever need a place, we'll always have room for you. And then just before his 18th birthday, he said to my wife, Lisa, did you really mean what you said? And she said, well, what? That there's always space for me. She says, well, of course. Well, what happens if I come out next week? So yeah, he saved up the money, bought his ticket, and like I said, only had $20 and pretty much the clothes on his back. So we stocked him up and everything like that. So there you go. So anyway, that's these here. Yeah, we'll move those over. So this here I've been working on. This is at 4 layers right now. I've got one more layer to go. I'm going to do this during John's show. Let me switch back to my live feed here so I can see. There we go. Unfortunately, my last layer, I didn't have enough wood. So this is actually the same. It is a double stack here, where all my other ones were quad. So I'm actually making 4 at the same time. So this here is the front layer of the sheep, and I think that's a small cow or something. Pigs, I can't tell, don't ask me. But everything else that I've been cutting out has been a quad stack. So this will be painted. There'll be reds and blues and all that stuff there, greens. So this is what's happening. So that is that there. Now this one here, this was cut out of one piece of wood, believe it or not. Yeah, linseed oil is great. It is smelly in the beginning, and it does take a while to fully cure, and for the smell to go away. But the finish is so nice. I'll show you what this is. Walnut. I'll show you what walnut looks like in a second. But this is cut from one piece of wood, and when you put the pin in, you drill an offset. So it used to be, when it was cut, nice and tight like that. So if you count them, if you do it right, if you line it up with the bottom of your wood, all right, so you don't have to do that long cut. You can do 1, this comes out, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. So basically 6 cuts is all it takes to get this done. It took me about, and the first time, just trying to do it. I didn't do my cuts right. Is I did this one first, this one second, and then this one third. The problem is, as you get to each piece, it comes out, no big deal, but you kind of have to stop. So if you do this first, like that, then pull out all these and go zip, zip, it'll be a lot faster. It took me about 11 minutes. So one of the things I tried adding yesterday, and I wasn't fully successful, are these holders, because these fall out way too easy. And what I did, oh, now it's not, there we go, is this is a slightly tapered wedge. So as you push it in, it gets tighter, but I was hoping it would get tighter here, and it didn't. So that was my fail. So I've got to figure out on the next version how to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to have to cut these off and then re-drill it and redo it. So I've got to figure out how I'm going to do this. Because like this one, I over-sanded just slightly, and bummer, it locks here. But still, the idea was that the wheels would lock in. I don't know how to do this yet. By doing the offset, this fully articulates 90 degrees, and this is all dry fit right now. So at this point, I still have to glue the wheels on and then sand them flat and everything. So this is the dry fit right now. I have to do sanding and everything like that. Oh, yeah, that keeps moving. This is my business card, and also have stickers that look like that as well. Let me switch back here so I can see. There we go. Let's tilt that. Yeah, it looks out of focus. I can't, unless I'm too far away, I can't tell. So, yeah, I got those. So, let's see. Oh, I think this is going to be very, very special. Let me step in front of the camera for a sec and move that. This is really special. For those who have been supporters of Poppy's workshop, I am so grateful being able to do this. So here's a box, and this box contains 10 toys, and this is going to be going to the Virginia Beach Police Department. So this is the what I put on the front of my boxes. Let's see here. So this is a 6x6 box. I get them fairly inexpensively. So I have 10 toys in there, and Virginia Beach Police Department reached back out to me, and they're really pleased to receive a donation, and this will be the first donation. And in the box, what I have are some of my, I think 5 of my larger toys. So these are some of the larger toys that are in there. So this is kind of a sampler. Of course, every box will have one of those, because that's pretty much the mascot for Poppy's workshop. And I forgot what this was made out of. Looks like oak. The thing is, with linseed oil, I call it liquid sunshine, and it does yellow things a little bit. This one I really like. I did a whole bunch of these, the tractor, and we'll bring that up there. You can't really see the finish though. That's a shame, because that is walnut, and you can see it looks so much richer and chocolatey. And then the little people comes out. Then what I also put in, not only, these are what I call my pocket pals. I have horses and whales, so I've got 5 of these, 3 and 2 of the pocket pals. And it was really funny yesterday when I thought about it after the fact. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of these. I've got 12 more. I've got the plan, so I've just got to select the wood and start cutting. When I was at Harbor Freight yesterday, as I was walking in, there were 3 little kids with their dads. And they were like 3, 4 years old, and I'm thinking, dang, I missed a really good opportunity. I could have a whole bunch of these in my pocket and, just ask the parents' permission. Hey, would you like this to go to your child? Just kind of bringing smiles to kids. So it's not just the kids that are in distress, but, when I'm out and about, why not? And, here I just added this, putting happiness in children's hands, one toy at a time. And, to go back to the Virginia Beach Police Department, I was just telling you what was in the box, but what the officer told me, this is from the Public Affairs, they said this is going to go to the SVU. And when I thought about it, it's like, man, that is great. It's going to go to the SVU, and then the gravity of it hit me. It was like, oh my gosh, as neat as it is, you got to think about what these kids are going through, that they are going to be exposed or helped by SVU. So that's the gravity of it. And in one way, it is awesome, but of course, it's so sobering to think about it. But the way that the response was by the police department, I thought, yeah, this is right. There's no doubt about it. This is right. So yeah, that's the Pocket Pal. A couple videos back, you would have seen the small racers that are about the same size. I'll do the same thing. I've got to get 3/4 inch wheels for those, or I'm going to be cutting them out. Let's see, I think this is 1/2 inch. Oh, got a little magnet there. Look at that. So I've got a hole saw. So I'm going to try, let's see, is that 1/2 inch? No, that's a 3/4. Ew. Yeah, I got to see if I can get a smaller bit. I think I have a smaller bit for that. So I'm going to try some 3/4 out of the scrap when I cut and see if I can actually do that myself or otherwise. I really like the other wheel. So let's see. I'm running out of room here. Let me put this underneath here so it doesn't get kicked. All right, so we're getting clear. We did that, we did that. Oh, so let's talk about what's going on now, and then we'll get to cutting. So here's another little feller. Let's see if you can see them. Let me get to my live here. So these will be my prototypes, and then I'll decide whether I want to make them smaller or whatever, but I may change that to a heart, but I really, what I wanted something is a kid could really hold on to. But what I'm thinking is making it, let's see, let me put it like stay. There we go. That's why these dogs are good. So what I am going to do is make it a rattle. So I thought, yeah, I can put one of my honeycombs on. So there's, yeah, the light's coming in through the window behind me, so it's getting kind of messy. Then I was thinking, well, I might be able to do upwards to 2 rings, but it's not a lot of movement. So when I dry fit it, actually, it'll probably be at an angle this way, because I'm going to drill in through this way, partway through that way. So there may be enough room for all 3, and we'll see how that works. But worst case is just the honeycomb and 1, but I don't think that looks, I don't like the balance of it. This looks more balanced. So that is one thing. Then this is a little bit smaller version of the hippo. There you go. I got 3 of them up on that, and this is oak. And you'll notice that, yes, I use some expensive hardwoods, though, this I was able to do a lot less expensive, and I may be going more to these. And then, to complete the planes, trains, and automobiles, here is an airplane that I will be doing. And we'll probably do this today. I think that'll be what we'll do. And here's the wings. And I was thinking of stack cutting it and everything. Like, you know, I with this hardwood, I kind of like just doing the single. So that is what we will be working on there. So let's see. I think that covers it. So let's get ready to go on to the scroll saw in a moment. And let me make sure I'm caught up with the chats. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Yes, I think it's a great charity. I greatly appreciate the support that I'm receiving. Oh, I did have one other thing to talk about here. Let me move them up. You know, it's something near and dear to me. I spent 15 years working at a ministry / youth center / radio network in New York. I was also part of Civil Air Patrol, mentoring the young teens there. Through churches, you know, I was the youth leader, youth pastor, things like that. So youth, children, yeah, they have a place in my heart. So you see these 4 wheels here. Well, one of the things that I am going to try to do is I was thinking about the hippo. Now, this is the big one. I was thinking, you know, rather than dead center the wheels, if I offset them a little bit so that they go up and down, you know, side to side, so that what would happen is he'll start doing this and or this. So just slightly off-centered, so the wheel just goes up, down, up, down. And depending on where I glue them, will dictate what movement it makes. So I'm thinking of when we do one of these are the size wheels that I'm going to use. And the funny thing is, when I cut dowels, when I make mistakes and stuff like that, I keep them. I keep everything. So I actually had 4 of these dowels that were bad, quote unquote, that I miscut too short or whatever. And it's like, yeah, I can use them. So what I did, of course, is I glued them into place so it's dead center, but then closed it up on the back. So let me find it. Can you believe it? Last one. There it is. So you can see what I'm doing here. Let me go back to my studio here. Give me a second. Get that. I think you can just see it. You can see it's just slightly off center. So I'm going to mark all 4 of these and then drill them. And this is a larger hole, so when the dowel goes through, it'll be glued, so these will be in sync with each other. So I'm thinking again, high, low, but if I offset them the other way, then I may be able to wobble this way. So before I glue them, I'll be able to experiment, but the shaft will be fixed to each here and then rotate in that. So that way I can select the movement that I want to do. So yeah, we were going to do the airplane. And the one concern that I have with the airplane is mounting the wings. This is going to be kind of funky here. Now, you're supposed to drill in and put a dowel through and everything. Lining it up and everything is going to be a bear, considering that it's half an inch. This is 3/4. This is half. So figuring that out. So that's why I haven't drilled it yet. Probably what I'll do is I'll have to drill a very small pilot so I can get it through the other side, get it matched up. I'll figure it out and see how we'll do that. But this is an easy cut, and this is also an easy finish on the Frankenrouter, except for here, which is really no big deal. Well, actually, no. No. I don't cut that. Do I? If I do, yeah. Okay, so I do cut that. But I don't need to finish that because the wing, the small wing is going to go there. Yep, I'm glad I thought that through. Always think through these things. And we'll go from there. So, let's switch cameras, I think, because I think that covers everything. Lots of talking. Uh, always lots of talking. And 36 minutes in. Okay, so let's switch back over to the scroll saw. Get my seat up higher. And I'm going to have a cookie. Here, see? Little Nilla wafer. So, forgive the crunching. Let's see. Oh, got to get this set. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm a little bit worn out. I was on John's show last night. Yesterday, who did he come on? It was near noontime that he came on. And he was on for 6 hours. And I took maybe a 45-minute break during dinner time. But, yeah. He's coming on today. So I was able to get 2 of the cow things cut out during his show. I'm able to get a lot of work done. Yeah, nice and slippery. Come on. You know, that's going to fall on me, so I'm going to put that down here. So I am going to use the Pegasus number 10. It goes through this wood really, really nicely. And remember, flip it back down, because it's like, I can't find it. Why isn't that thing clamping in? So, there we go. And yeah, no inside cuts. There we go. Let's see, make sure everything's opened up. Adjust my height for my top vac. Okay, it looks like you can see that well. Get the magnifying glass down. Yep, that looks pretty good. Let me take a sip of my drink here. And switch back to the screen. Okay, so I think we are ready to rock and roll. I am going to put some hearing protection on because I'm going to have the big fan going, vacuum going. You know, actually, let me do this. I'm going to use my earbuds. So hold on for a sec here. And I am putting in earbuds that are also noise canceling. And I actually use them as hearing aids too when I'm in the office. There we go. So what's nice when I wear them in the office is, yeah, I can hear everybody because I already have 50 and 60% hearing loss in each ear. And then when I'm sitting at the desk, the problem is now I can hear everything. And it's like, gosh, it just is so distracting. Yeah, I cut that just a little bit, not too bad, okay. So then all I do is I tap my right ear and it goes rolled off. So it's noise canceling. So that's what I use for my hearing protection here is active noise canceling earbuds. Here, let me, I'll show you after. And then I can also play music in my ear as well since they are Bluetooth. So let's start the vacuum and let's see, make sure my blast gates are where they should be. They look right. Here we go. Okay. Let's get started. Yep, set the speed. And there we go. smell. I don't know. Kind of like the smell that's in the but yeah, I'm a bit tired. I probably should slow down a little bit until last week, even though I had Monday off as a holiday. I took, I took the music on this day, so I didn't have to take the PTO hours, the vacation hours. And then yesterday I spent about 12 hours not sure. And today I started on probably closer to 5. Started unboxing things. Started my laundry. And then it took about 2 hours to get the part together. And I really like it. I like the US camera. Because the steel is nice and thick. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do a nibble. Because this is a thick bone, it only takes a couple nibbles. And if you look, you can see it's wide enough. Back it up, and then I can start. But I have, you've probably seen in pictures, my 2-piece toolkit that is a craftsman, as I call it, craftsman. I'm going to try to get this out. Think through your cuts. You can easily mistake and say, oh, I need to repair it. Not the end of the world, because this is one way of doing it. I'm just doing it slow. Let's see. Yeah, it is. I think anything more than 60. I think I run it 60 cycles is the frame speed. It's either 30 or 60. So this, of course, is a lot faster. And I'm running a little bit into half speed. So it will make it look like those flat frames. It's kind of like when you watch the old movies with the horse and buggies and it looks like the wheels are going backwards. Same principle. So what we'll do is let's move over to the rings. So I'll just do one at a time for the ring. And then we'll go from there. Let's see. Okay, Biggie is nice. Welcome aboard. So you've got video up. I will definitely check your site, check your channel. And see how things are going. Alright, so let's figure how we're going to cut this. We'll cut one end off, and then do the one more cut. sand them together. I'll even that. Similar to as if I did a stack cut. And like I said, I probably should have done this on a stack cut. So this is half inch here. But it cuts so easy. Sometimes stacking just slows me way down. So I've literally created diminishing returns. And so I can go pretty quickly on the strokes. I'm going to have to redo this plan because there's a lot of dragginess in the image itself. And I like finding the 1-point lines. And you'll notice that with my plans, I put them in Photoshop. And I make everything, my lines magenta, down 1/3 or 2 points. That's enough a little bit. And then also the areas that are not straight, I show them in at about 11% magenta. I'll probably go a little bit dark in magenta, but I'll try and save it. So now we'll just do one more cut here. Shifting it, see. And after this cut, stop for a moment and check the cut. See what the turn is out. Yeah, I should probably go to about 15% magenta flow. So I can see it. Okay. I find the magenta easier to see than gray stuff. But if all you have is a gray stuff printer, then it is. So the cutting on the cap, the way that I treated that is like in Chelsea. I made sure that I nailed my lines as perfectly as possible for each cover. Being that they're going to be stacked in 5 layers, I got to minimize the amount of sanding and fitting. So by sticking to the 1-point line that I have on there, place them together, you can see there's hardly any variation. If you look at the windmill, there's actually 2 identical windmills and 2 identical bars because it was created from depth. So, in order to create the depth, I had to cut 2 bars and 2 windows, and you can see that the windows are quite expensive cuts. Now there were some cuts that I did not do because they were so small I thought it would make things a little bit too fast. Okay, we got the big ones. Let's see how I do on that. So, let me switch to my so if you take these 2, you can see I'm off just a little bit here, but everywhere else And I could go, oh, maybe not. I'm trying to line it up. So if you look a little bit there, nothing there, and a little, no, just a little bit. So sanding this will be very easy. So by staying true to the lines, it's almost as if I stack cut it. And you can see how quick the stack cutting actually works. So let's see what we got for comments here. I'm using a bigger mouse here. Okay. I'm just looking at the messages right now. So, answering the aardvarks, you were doing very calligraphic. So, yeah, Archie, if you can get that Excalibur from your friend, that'll be nice. Holy cow, $50 for a second-hand Berkeley? Good night. Wow. Let me turn off my vacuum from yakking with you guys, because I'm probably talking a little bit too loud when I when I have my noise canceling on. Yeah, you definitely got a bargain on that. Let's see, and then the last one from Archie here. Work for Rubin Company is here. Traditional sign writing. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you, some of the folk who create signs, unbelievable. And now you add in that they now have the CNCs that are far beyond, the way the CNCs have advanced in the last couple of years. Holy cow. It's amazing. I got tempted the other day. I was like, man, I could get a small CNC and be able to whip out some wheels the way that I want them, or the rattle in particular, the teddy bear rattle. So I was thinking with this, this would have been something that could have gone on the CNC, which would have been really cool. But then, my logic got the best of me again, or I started thinking clearly. It's like, look, my claim to fame here is going to be handmade, not machine-assisted, man-made, CNC, computer-generated, yada, yada, yada. So I'm trying to keep that, but keep in mind that when I am producing these things, that I'm trying to be as efficient as possible. So let's see, Tim transition from hand livery style to being an expert in digital realm and CNC. Traditional spandex. Wait, now out here in the United States, spandex is the underwear that you put on to hide your fat. $40,000. Yeah, I remember. I used to run a graphic shop way back when, and the cost of things were incredible. Or even when I was doing computers, just to show you, our first 9 gigabyte. Let me make sure it was a megabyte, 100 megabytes. It might have been megabytes. A 9 megabyte Micropolis hard drive was going to set us back from the company, Broadcast Electronics, $6,000 because they were going to format it, put music on. But I was able to get them for like $2,100 or $2,200 a piece directly from Micropolis because a friend of mine had his office next door. So I was able to save money there. Then fast forward, not even 6 months or a year later, you could get 100 megabyte hard drive IBMs for $200. That was during what I called the storage wars, the hard drive storage wars. They just went crazy. So let's see, you're heading in the other direction, learning traditional hand sign writing. Yeah, I'll tell you, there's something about things being done by hand. And it's all about the little errors. You know, when you look at the different pieces I do, you may see some scratches. You may see a slight correction. You know, you can tell that something was handmade. When you look at calligraphy, oh my gosh, you look at the old, you know, the old letters and stuff like that. I mean, look at the Constitution. Look at the Bill of Rights and Declaration of Independence and how it was written. You know, when I went through school, I had to learn handwriting, but it wasn't calligraphy, though I tried to learn calligraphy, but I just didn't stick with it. But if you can combine your calligraphy and carving, so your hand carving signs, small signs and everything, it's a lost art. And it cheapened things. I mean, one of the complaints that I hear about people who are selling things, they're going to farmers markets and craft shows and everything, they're competing with the laser cut stuff. Granted, the lasers, unless they get the real heavy duty lasers, they're only able to do maybe 3-4 millimeters. A little bit heavier duty, but then you got the black ends and the way they fit. It just, you can tell it's a laser. Now, a lot of times when I talk to people, they say, "Oh my gosh, did you do that on laser?" No, this is hand done, because I try and make it as close to the lines as possible. So let me turn the vacuum back on. We'll cut out these last two here. Let's see where we're at here. Go from there. Yeah, we can keep going. I think we're all right. So here we go. Going on, going silent. But you're absolutely right. Perfection comes from the small imperfections. And clinical or sterile. I think those are good words of how those machine-made, laser-made things look. There's no personality. There's no soul. And that is and I think that's the key. And I have a feeling that if we can do stuff that is done with hardwood rather than plywood, things like that, so that we use what we do best in our hands. We don't try to compete with those people who are doing laser and CNC. This is graphics versus sculpture. That's a little bit. I can be and that's what I'm not seeing yet, as much as we should right now, is these folks who are going to the craft shows. They're doing the same things that people are cranking out on lasers, and they're doing it on film. And it's like, come on, people. I know it's cheaper for you, I know it's faster for you, but if you want to make a living, or at least make a little bit of money, then do some quality. Do something that the lasers, the CNCs, most of the time the CNCs can do it. And that's really who we're competing with. Yeah, and look, I'm not knocking the CNC. Like I said, I was tempted by it. I'm not knocking the laser. I have two. I got the small box laser and my bigger laser. Mainly I use them for logos and stuff. But um, what I'm going to use them for example, I did one Noah's Ark puzzle. You can see it on my website. That is in a backer board with a frame and everything. I didn't do it there, but the idea is before I cut, what I'll do is I'll use the laser to actually lay down the pattern, but then that's the light lines. Then, for example, the animals, I can print, laser in the names of the animals, you know, pig, aardvark, things like that. Then on the backer, I can then print the whole thing on the backer so that the child can see, oh, the pig in my hand goes where the pig is lasered in the backer board. So that's really what I want to do for my puzzle. So that would be an interesting thing to do. I should probably make another one of these. Because it's been over a year since I made that first one that went to a little bit a year ago called Noah. And that was another, as a childhood friend of my daughter, and she struggled. She lost 6 babies. I think it was 6, 5 or 6. And she decided Noah, and so I made that Noah's Ark puzzle. Painted. So that was a childhood friend of my daughter. She was married and lives in South Carolina. So a lot of these gifts have a special meaning. The thing with Pegasus, I find that I cannot control the Pegasus as well as I control the Pegasus. I like the Pegasus 10 for the thicker elements. Turn that. Close off. Here we go. Okay, let me take a breath for a second here. Take a look at these. Compare the cuts. And wow, I did better than I thought. Let me get this out of the way. Let me line this up. Yeah, so very little sanding. A little bit here. Yeah, just on this corner here. And everything else very minor. And even that is like a fingernail. So that's the way that I cut, staying true to the line, so that even though I did not stack cut, this would have been so close to a stack cut. So I can clamp this, quick sand a couple times, and I'm done, or put it on my little belt sander. So there you go. That's the plane that we'll cut out today. And let's see what we're looking at here. Yeah, CNC definitely is for the production environment, and that's what I wrestle with. You know, I have right now over 20 toys that are finished. 10 are already going out. I'm going to get another 10 out. Probably, I'm hoping I'm going to be hearing from either Norfolk Police Department or the Virginia Beach Fire Department. Those I'm waiting to hear from a NGO, a Polish NGO that gets stuff into Afghanistan. But usually when you do those things, you need to have a lot, and that's where heavy duty production would work really, really well. Um, but then again, I'm not doing the plywood. I'm not doing, the cheap pine. Um, I'm trying to do quality. Um, so we've got to weigh it out. Now, I'm also thinking towards the end of the year in some of the things that I'm going to do. Let me do this. Let me switch over back to the workbench. There we go. Let's get that out of the way. Let's see, some of the toys. Let's just put some of the toys up here. So you can see and hear the quality in these, okay? Versus again, and I don't want to sound like that I'm bad-mouthing the pines and things like that. Everything has its purpose and everything like that, but like everything, there's preferences. Some people say, "No, I like working with pine. I can cut through pine like butter with a hot knife, and it takes you can produce 5, I can produce 50, or whatever." So yeah, digital prep is important, not just for CNC, not just for laser, but the digital prep that I do to create these. A lot that I do is freehand, and then I adjust the paths. I have a little Wacom tablet and pen to adjust things. But yeah, there's a different prep, and then there's the changes that I want to make. Like I said, I'm going to change this. It'll be one arc and one big eyeball, rather than have both eyes looking that way, like he's looking sideways. But yeah, I think that works real well there. Yeah, and goes back to heart and soul. Is doing it by hand. The piece has soul. The piece, it has a part of me. It has my heart in it. My heart. Though a CNC and a laser can do that too. It's yeah. I don't know what else to say about it. Just that this is the way that I've chosen to do it, and it's what will set me apart from other people who do something similar to what I do. And again, my purpose is to make heirloom, since I don't have hair, heirloom quality pieces that will last. I think I mentioned it before. I built a circus train. I think I was, yeah, it had to have been my last year of high school, so 1980. I made a 4-piece circus train, held onto it, and then the woman that I loved, she had a baby, and I was taking care of the baby when she was working late, Nicholas. And I gave him that toy. And her and I have drifted apart, and we're talking now for 35, because we worked together in a photography studio. We drifted apart, and I reconnected, and I asked her, I said, "Hey, do you still have the toy train?" She says, "Oh my gosh." She says, "That's one of Nicholas's favorite belongings. He's moved around a lot, so they're packed right now. One day, hopefully, she'll get me a picture of them. But here is something I created 40 years ago. It's hard to really fathom that something that I created, because if you come into my office at home, you're going to see a whole shelf of things. I call it my memory shelf. It has my mom, my dad, and different things on it. Like it has the device, the medical device that my father invented. His vice president actually sent it to me about 6 months ago, one of the last remaining ones. And I have a patent on part of it. I have my grandfather's tacking hammer, their watches, things like that. But then from my great uncles, they were artists, I have a 3-dimensional winter scene. And that thing has to be 75 or 80 years old. I have a painting that my grandfather did, I think since he signed it Dad, so it was originally to my mom, that I'm figuring he did, it was a violin and some sheet music. He did it, man, that's got to be 60 years ago, 70 years ago. So my hope is these silly little things will come out 30, 40, 50, man, that's heavy, 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years later, that, you know, this was given to the little boy who gave it to his son, and then it's all banged up and has chewed up, and it's now given to the grandson. You know, or it comes out and it's like, wow, that is really cool. That was Grandpa's. You know, or even my own grandson will say, wow, Grandpa made that for me. One of the changes that I'm thinking of doing here is drilling 3 little holes to make it look like it's the vent for the engine. I'm also thinking of doing a racer, and I thought, oh, cool, just like a dragster, I'll do 3 of these on the dragster. So if you ever look at dragsters, they have that. So I was looking at this, oh, I can do that. So yeah, I'm working on a dragster plan next. But one of the things I do need to do is go back into production and do some more pocket pals and stuff like that. Finish up the pocket racers and everything. So I think production. But what I'm also thinking about is come Christmas time. Of course, there's Christmas gifts that I have to do, but we have at NATO this thing they call the Christmas Bazaar, and it is the wives of the different foreign officers. They each set up tables, and they have crafts from their home countries. And I think we had, let's see, there's 31, we're soon to be 30, hopefully tomorrow it will become 32 countries. Sweden might become part of NATO tomorrow. So we have to see what Hungary's doing in their parliament to give approval, because it is consensus, 100% consensus, and they've been the holdout for the last year and a half. But anyway, I think there was 20 or 25 tables set up, all different countries. And you purchase tickets, and then each ticket's like, I think $5 or $1 or something. I forgot what it is. And you go to a table and say, oh, look, here's German food, here's Hungarian food, here's Turkish food, here's English food, or here's the crafts from each of the countries. Well, what they do is you give the ticket, so I guess somehow or another one country becomes a winner or something like that, but they are selecting a children's organizations to send the money to. So it's a fundraiser for children's organizations. Well, what I'm thinking of is I'm going to produce a whole bunch of pocket pals, some of these more intricate to bring in more money. So I'll do a few of those, but also too, if you go into my videos, you'll see, for example, the Schwiebogen, the German candle arch. I'll probably do one of those, and that hopefully will bring big money. You know, so I'm going to do some Christmas type items along with toys, and I don't know whose table I'm going to go on. United States did not set up a table this year, so I wouldn't be able to do that. So what I may do is see if I can get it put on the Hungarian table, because on my father's side of the family, we are Hungarian, or on my mother's side of the family is Italian. I may do both tables and say, hey, here's 20 toys, 10 for Italy, 10 for Hungary. Who knows? But I'd like to be able to do that so that some of these can be used to generate some cash for the children's organizations that the wives of our military officers are doing during our Christmas Bazaar. So there you go. That's what it is. Let me take a look at comments. Anything there? Toys? Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Is the aardvark? Oh, from the cartoons. Oh, okay. That was a different conversation there. Okay, let me take a look here. Yep. So yeah, that's I think that's pretty much it for what I have. You know, take a look at my website, poppysworkshop.org. I do have blogs that come out. You can subscribe to them. I had a couple come out this month. Generally, when you subscribe to it, uh, it's one, maybe two a month that I'll write something and it will come out. Um, Sometimes it's a commercial for what I'm doing, or sometimes it's thoughts. Like I just had one come out about my grandson and the gift that I did for him, Noah's Ark and stuff like that. Um, so it's a little bit more personal in terms of the writing and my thoughts. Uh, you know, of course, I have the videos. I am trying to do one video a week that's about 10 to 20 minutes, and that is, you know, what's on Poppy's workbench. And that's pretty much what I covered uh, the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of today's live. And I, of course, do the live every week at 9:30, so we can catch our European brothers and sisters. Um, you know, maybe one time I'll start doing some later in the evening. We'll see, but I don't want to interfere with other people's videos as well. But I do the live, and I try and do it for about an hour or so, hour and a half, and kind of go from there. But anyway, I think that just about does it for the day. I so appreciate everybody coming on board and listening to my musings, watching me mess up my cuts and things like that, and you know, just have talk and give me something to do on a Sunday morning. So there we go. And I just forgot what I wanted to say. Other than thanks for being here, and I'm going to switch my screen here, and may the Lord richly bless you and make it a great day. Right here. I think I got a target. Yeah, right here at Poppy's Workshop. Take care. We'll see you next week.